Hi, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am excited to be able to sit down for a moment and connect with Phil Haslanger. He is the leader of our story team, but he also has a background in journalism, 34 years as a journalist at the Capital Times, as well as 11 years, 10 years, as a United Church of Christ minister. So, Phil, I would love to just hear a little bit more about you, about your story,
Sure.
how you ended up in Dane County. We'd love to hear about you. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Nicola. It's really fun to do this with you. I grew up I'm essentially a Wisconsin person from all my life, although I grew up in Marinette, Wisconsin, northeast corner of the state on the Menominee River. I was born in the hospital of Menominee, Michigan. So
Okay,
I'm not a native of Wisconsin, although I've lived here all except for the first 2 or 3 days of my life.
there you go.
So there you go. But anyway, I grew up in Marinette, city, northeast corner. When I was in high school, I went to a Catholic seminary, the idea of maybe becoming a priest someday. Did that through my first 2 years of college, then came to UW-Madison as a junior, studied sociology. This was in 1969, kind of a quiet time in Madison. And so got a degree in sociology, took a year off, did some writing when I was in school for the Daily Cardinal. 1972 was the first year that 18-year-olds could vote.
Wow.
So Madison was a very central spot for candidates in the primary and in the election. So I did a lot of reporting for the Cardinal about politics, which then led to a job at the Capital Times covering politics.
There you go.
As I was doing all that, I also got a master's degree in journalism from UW. So all those pieces sort of fit together.
Absolutely.
Worked at the Cap Times for 34 years in a variety of roles of reporting, local news editor, editorial page editor, finally managing editor, which means you got to make sure the paper gets out each day.
Mm.
We did that. It's okay.
Stressful.
And then, but along the way, I sort of returned to the idea of ministry. My wife and I shifted from Catholic Church to the United Church of Christ in about the year 2000. Started thinking about ways, well, we first said when we joined, let's not get very involved. You can see how well that worked. And then began finding out you could do something, be a lay minister. So I got into that and thought, I really like this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So then got on the ordination track and was ordained in 2007.
Okay.
And so then started, continuing work in ministry. So it's really been interesting to straddle these two careers, one really defined by skepticism, the other one defined by belief, and trying to hold both of those things in tension. I love that. I love the fact that both of those elements are there in my life. Along the way, got married, we had 2 kids, got divorced, got married, had 2 more kids. Kids are scattered all over the country. My wife, who thought she was marrying Clark Kent, wound up being a pastor's wife. She became a spiritual director along the way. And so it was great fun. And now we're retired or perhaps redeployed because I'm doing a bunch of other things now. But that's kind of the journey of how I'm classic Madison story. I came here to go to school and never left.
I am right there with you, so I can understand the story. How did those dots connect to you jumping on board with us as collaboration project, ending up now being our story team leader? What has that looked like?
Well, this will be a common story in collaboration project. John Anderson asked me. I had gotten to know John over time, and he knew I had a background both in journalism and church world. Mm-hmm. And I'd done some other writing for things. And one of the things that I think has been a mark across careers, but particularly once I got involved in ministry, was trying to cross the bridges that separate people. Mm. So, and paying particularly, the United Church of Christ is a pretty liberal denomination. Mm-hmm. So trying to figure out how do I connect with people who are in more conservative denominations, because there's this Jesus guy we all follow, and maybe there's ways we can connect with each other. So what the collaboration project is doing is right in that lane of something that interests me. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what does it look like to be a part of that team? Maybe, what have you seen through being a part of it?
Well, it's been, part of it is just the fun of getting to know other people, which is another one of my passions in life, is getting to know people.
Mm-hmm.
But we have people who have a variety of their own experiences and come from a variety of different faith communities. And so when we're sitting down and brainstorming stories, people are coming at them from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And for no one is this a full-time job or anything near that. It's what they do on the side. And so, we have to kind of, when we get it, we get it. Mostly we have people who are pretty good writers. So it's more a matter of just, working out little kinks in the stories when they come in, finding photos.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a great group of folks to work with. And it's been fun getting to know people I didn't know before.
I love that. Whether it's from being a part of that team or maybe it's from your experience as a local pastor in Dane County, is there a particular story of collaboration you've been able to witness that's left you encouraged?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So I was pastor at Memorial United Church of Christ in Pittsburgh, so down Fish Hatchery Road and over on Lacey Road.
Mm-hmm.
And several years into that, was talking with folks about in what way can the churches serve the community of Pittsburgh, and particularly Pittsburgh is a community that's more divided than it might appear on the surface. So about 17% of Pittsburgh is Latino. About 12% is African American. When people think of Pittsburgh, they think white suburb.
Sure.
I think for the most part. And so how do we connect parts of the community? And in the course of that, talking to other pastors, the idea that emerged where we might be of service was to create a personal essentials pantry. So not a food pantry, but a place where you could get diapers, dish detergent, toothpaste,
right?
All those kinds of essentials for life. So several churches, different denominations, very different theologies got together and created the personal essentials pantry.
Awesome.
So that created some links among the different churches in Fitchburg. Then we created something called the Fitchburg Faith Network, which brought together church folks and city leaders and people involved in social services 3, 4, 5 times a year to talk about what's going on in the community. And then out of that grew a pastor's prayer group that meets once a month, again, with folks from liberal UCC, more conservative, evangelical, free, Lutherans, so this kind of mixing of folks from different traditions. So watching that collaboration take root and grow in Fitchburg was, is probably what I would love to see happen in so many places.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that story. I love hearing about what is happening in collaborative efforts in our city and the way all of these congregations are coming together for this greater need of serving the vulnerable in Dane County. So it's what we want to see and what we're all about.
Yeah.
What about this story team? You're the leader of this story team, and I know I've heard through the grapevine we might be looking for more friends. So
absolutely.
what type of opportunities are available if someone was watching this and may be interested? How can they participate?
So right now there's about a half a dozen people on the story team. Okay. And if people are interested, it's helpful if you have you don't need a professional writer, but you're comfortable writing. That's a really good starting place.
Sure.
That, you have some interest in hearing stories of how folks are collaborating either across churches or churches with their neighborhoods. We're looking at both of those dimensions. Okay. Maybe you're not a good writer, but you love doing photography. We could use some people who might just want to go out and shoot some photos. If you're interested, a couple of things to do. On the Collaboration Project Facebook page, you could send a message. Yep. I'm on Facebook. You could send a message to me. You could email me. You'd have to remember this email. It's not too hard. phaslanger@gmail.com. So yeah, if you're interested, for the summer, we're kind of taking a summer vacation, although if something comes up, we'll write about it. But we're going to regroup again towards the end of August, so it'd be a good time to get to join in with the team at that point. So if you're interested at all, please get in touch.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Thank you for those next steps. I will include the email address below here or somehow incorporate it in the caption so that will not be lost. Yeah, anything else you want to share or would like to add here? I'm just so
Just
grateful.
want to add, I think different people have brought different things to this team. And when you arrived, you've helped us reach out into new ways with the video work you're doing, with helping us, get more things out on Facebook. It's really great to watch the team expanding, and it's great to have you as part of it.
Well, thanks. That was unsolicited. Just want to make
Right.
sure everyone knows that. But I really appreciate the encouragement. It's been a joy to be a part of this, and I'm so excited to see what the Lord is up to. And a privilege to get to know you a little bit, Phil, both through this space right now, but also reading your stories and being in communication with you. So thank you for your time, for your service, and using your skills that God has clearly given you to help us tell the story of collaboration in Dane County.
It's a delight. Thanks, Nicola.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day.